Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, we had yet an explosive episode that we got to talk about. First, our couples are looking at life outside of the experiment. We had the most explosive argument yet between Melinda and Layton, and Harrison and Bronte's sister go head to head in that whole explosive disagreement. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia, Season 10, Episode 31. And without any further ado, let's talk about what went down. So, while some of our couples are absolutely thriving during Homestays week, others are crumbling under the pressure. And if anyone is at risk of crumbling, it's on again, off again couple Bronte and Harrison, who has shockingly decided to push through this whole Homestays in the hopes of seeing each other in a, different light, but we'll talk about them later. So let's start off on a good note with Tani and Ollie. And like I said earlier, there are some couples that are thriving, and all you need to do is look at these two. Now, the two of them are spending the week in Tani's Bundy apartment, if that's what you want to call it. The space is likened to Harry Potter's cupboard bedroom under the stairs. And despite his shock, Tani pays more, for this small, tiny apartment than his townhouse in Perth. And Ollie is doing his very best to be complimentary. He called it very snug. It's also very cozy. However, she refers to the little sections as rooms, which, of course, he finds quite interesting. But these two are having a blast. And even so much so was this conversation that they had. Check it out.
Here's the funny thing, right? I remember looking down, and then I was like, every time I looked down, I was like in the eye line of your boobs.
Looking at my titties.
Did you think that?
No.
You did think that?
Yeah, I am.
Did you actually?
Yeah. My love boobies.
Did you actually think that?
Yeah.
Confirmed pretty early on that we were both enjoying each other's time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be around you all the time.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And I think that's a really strong indicator of how I feel for you. And I love all the moments. I love wandering the streets on an adventure. I just don't want to get away from you. I think Tani and I are a real team, right? I think it's obvious that, I can see a future with Tani. A real future, not just a 3-month plan. I got you a surprise.
What did you get me a surprise?
So obviously, got a lot of beautiful pictures of you around your house. I want you to have them.
Stop the pose. Wait, it's the hand in the pocket. Look at your face. You look so young. Wait, when was this taken?
2020.
You look like an actual 18-year-old in this.
Can you see how uncomfortable I am?
You look very uncomfortable. This is you at every single dinner party.
It kind of looks like an in memoriam. It's going to be mad sad saying goodbye to her, even for that short period of time before final vows, because she's been all I've known in the past 3 months. I care about her so much, and I'm excited to grow that even more and to hopefully let it flourish on the outside.
Have a little kiss.
Go on. Oh, that was a bad one.
That was a bad one. I think the camera's just so awkward. Orkies.
Yeah, it look like they're enjoying that fried chicken. However, for these two, Homestays only reaffirms the strong feelings Ollie and Tani have for each other. And even Ollie told the cameras he think it's obvious that he can see a future with Tani, a real future, not just a 3-month future. Next up is Evelyn and Rupert. Now, remember, they took their relationship to the next level, and the couple meets with Evelyn's mom, Yvonne, and she's wanting to know about the future of their relationship. However, Rupert admits distance is going to be the hardest thing, with him living in Queensland and Evelyn in Sydney.
So you think that the future with Evelyn the relationship will keep going, or you will move to Sydney, or you will give up?
Well, it's funny. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experiment, and I feel like you get so much self-growth out of it. And when I would have normally not given us a chance in hell, I think...
In hell?
No, like, I wouldn't. Obviously, distance is just going to be the hardest thing. Like, we live in different states. I know it's only a short flight away, but...
Yeah.
I want to focus on now. Like, I think if I'm thinking about what we're doing in a month or two, that'll stress me out and I'll not be myself around you. I need to be in love or with someone to commit. You know what I mean? Like...
I feel like he just slapped me in the face.
Like, it hasn't even crossed my mind on whether I would move down to Sydney. Whoa. Whoa.
We've literally had sex. The fact that he doesn't even know how he feels about me this far along in the experiment is extremely concerning. It's left me more confused than ever. And see, I'm hurt.
I would not move to Brisbane for you, no. You see how hurtful that is?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say it in a negative way, that I just would flat out never move.
But you have to understand, Rupert. See, do you see how I just said to you, like, I would not move to Brisbane? Did that hurt you a little bit?
Right now.
I think just have discussion might have been more comforting and reassuring for me, but flat out saying, no, I haven't thought about it, like, not particularly what a woman wants to hear.
This is my mum's look into our relationship. This is not giving my mum a good sign. I think that makes her feel hopeful for us.
Anyway. I'm really sorry you just had to listen to that. Yeah.
So...
I'm concerned. I don't know what to think anymore. I just hope that he's not stringing me along to have a good time when he's already made up his mind a long time ago. That's my biggest fear right now.
Now, with Rupert's admission, it is a shock to Evelyn, who feels like she's been slapped in the face. Rupert's confession at this point looked like it has undone the couple's progress. Evelyn even tells the cameras that the fact that he doesn't even know how he feels about her this far along in the experiment was very and extremely concerning. And of course, it left her being more confused than ever. And as she stated, in all honesty, she's hurt. So next up is Lindell and Cameron. Now, things between Lindell and Cam are still unresolved following the couple's argument over Cam's lack of affection. It's left Lindell with a lot of lingering doubts, and she wants clarity on whether Cam is ready for a relationship outside of this experiment. However, it turns out that Cam have his own doubts and worries that he can't give Lindell the future and the affection that she needs.
I feel like there is a little bit of tension between Lindell and I. Come on, yeah, in the back. Homestays has definitely big boy, made me question the relationship big time. Obviously, I think what's bothering Lindell is the episode that happened at Andy's with the whole kiss. The biggest concern I've got is I'm not this an affectionate person. Like, that's what's been the main cause of everything, is this affection side of things. Yeah, so today I'm going to head out to Dundee and try and make things right with Lindell. I think there will be a little bit to talk about today. I think there will be a few chats brought up.
Have you woken up feeling?
Yeah, I've woken up feeling a little bit flat, I think.
Why?
I guess it's the end of it's, getting to the end of Homestays, which means that we're kind of at the very, very end of the experiment now, and I still don't really know what my relationship with Cam looks like after this. I actually think that Homestays has made me question things more. I feel like I've been sending myself a little bit crazy, wondering what more I can do to kind of get our relationship to a good place and one that I'm happy with as well as Cam. I just want Cam to hug me and tell me that he cares about me just as much as I care about him. I want him to tell me that he's scared of losing me and he's really scared that this is not going to work out. Because I don't feel like he is scared of that. I want him to tell me that he cares. That he does want to be around me and he wants to be close to me and he wants to make me feel wanted. I think everybody wants that.
So it turns out that Cam doesn't think that he is good enough for his wife. However, Lindell tells Cam that he is good enough, otherwise she wouldn't be in the experiment anymore. And she tells Cam, it's pretty scary to think about you not being in my life anymore. I care about you a lot. So while the couple has left things on a positive note, there's still a lot to think about as we head into the final vows. So let's talk about our power couple, the two CEOs, Melinda and Layton, and they're spending the week in Melinda's home city of Brisbane.
We get sunset and sunrise, and it's so pretty. Following the last commitment ceremony, I need to see a little less control from Layton and just him kind of being happy-go-lucky.
Is this where you're going to wine and dine me? You're going to make
Where
me breakfast?
you're going to cook me stuff and make me
You're going to make me breakfast? Are you?
I said in my vows that I don't cook, baby. And if something's happened, I want to see, can I tell him that and not have it turn into this big fight? The comfiest bed you'll ever sleep on.
It looks a bit... Oh. Are you going to have your way with me?
Oh.
I feel good about being in Brizzy because I feel like you're moving your life for someone. It's a big risk. So being able to get an opportunity to see what Mel's like in her hometown is going to be really important for me. I want to make sure that the relationship is solid before making that kind of commitment.
I've missed this bed.
Have you got this bed so it dips in so I can't escape?
So even though it looked like they're all smiles right now, however, they had plans for a kayaking date, but it was derailed after the two of them get into possibly the most trivial argument in the history of the show over a cupboard door. So what happened is Layton left the cupboard door open where there was dust, and Melinda has a dust allergy. And from there ensues an argument over communications. Things spiral out of control pretty darn fast, and the date is ruined. While the river date is canned, the couple agree not to waste their whole evening and go on a pre-organized picnic date. And Melinda is keen to get to the source of the issue, and turns out it's not the cupboard door, but rather Layton's inability to process his emotions. And then, of course, we're now trying to see if they can salvage this relationship.
I think there's so many similarities that we have. And there's so many things I like about you. But when I tell you the things that make me feel a certain way, and every time we try to talk about our feelings, this happens. And it's it's difficult for me to give you what you need because I feel like it pushes me back and it pushes me away. So it's I don't know, how do you, this is hard. And I know you're probably feeling the same way. There's so much potential. I think we both know there's so much potential. If we can't address all these things, I don't know how I don't know how this works on the outside world.
It's like in life, when you want something badly, you'll do like everything you can for it. But sometimes, like, no matter how hard you try for something, if it's not meant to be, it's just never going to be. I feel like we both want a relationship to work together. But I think we're both intelligent enough to know that it may not ever work.
There's two people here who do really like each other and care about each other, but also just can't seem to communicate. Oh.
The question is, what is going to happen with these two? I honestly think that they could have made it work. They just had to learn to communicate. They also have to learn to communicate that men and women communicate differently and be able to appreciate the nuances that come with that. And if you're trying to get a person to change to fit how you want them to be versus trying to understand each other and then come to some sort of agreement like we've seen with Tani and Ollie, I don't know if they can make this work. And finally, last but certainly not least, Bronte and Harrison. Now, being in their hometown, or should I say her hometown of Perth, is working wonders for Bronte. Even Harrison noticed that his bride got a little extra pep in her step. But the extra dose of happiness is raising alarm bells for Harrison as he's worrying that Bronte's safety net of family and friends, she don't want to move to Sydney to be with him. And he told the cameras that he just feel like the way Bronte talks about being back home, that he doesn't think that she's ready for the next step with him. Now, this is despite Bronte mentioning at least a dozen times that she is willing to move to Sydney, which seemingly doesn't seem like it might not be enough. Even Bronte says, I wouldn't have come on this experiment if I wasn't willing to move for love. And with that, you would think that the problem is solved, but it looked like it's still an issue. And on that note, it's time for dinner. And Bronte's protective sister, Kira, and in case you need reminding, Kira and Harrison don't have the best history. Kira isn't here to F spiders and get straight into her interrogation. Yeah, it gets ugly from there.
Unpack everything for me.
I just feel like in every single narrative that you're spinning, I feel like you're always trying to play victim. It's always trying to make Bronte look bad. Okay, but that didn't happen, that didn't happen. Do you understand how narcissistic that is? You're saying her emotions and how she felt in that time is not valid because you don't see it that way.
Incorrect.
That is not... No,
Incorrect.
it's not incorrect, Harry. That is not it.
God.
I don't really know what to say.
We need to stick to the facts.
By saying that you need to stick to the facts, are you insinuating that she's lying?
Yes. Yes.
Do you not see that as gaslighting her emotions?
No. How Bronte feels is fine. But if we're talking about what factually happened, that's different.
Okay.
So I'm not gaslighting
let's
Bronte.
Yes, you are gaslighting her.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God.
Silence.
I think it's the relief, honestly.
Okay. So you're going to get up and be a coward and walk away from me and your wife? that's what you want to do, then I'll escort you out if that's what you want to do.
I'm not
happily.
going to sit here and be told.
You're not going to sit
happened.
here and be held accountable for being a narcissistic, gaslighting dickhead. Don't treat my sister. Goodbye. See you later.
God.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a coward. Throw in the bin.
And on that note, Harrison storms out while Bronte slams her wedding ring on the table and tells her sister Kira, here's your divorce, see you later. Bronte has been coming back saying, stay, stay, stay. She knew who Harrison was before coming on the show. If you haven't seen the plethora of videos that I've done on this channel, go check them out. It's a ton of them. She knew who he was planning to do this whole thing, even with the best friend at the wedding. That was all planned as well. The thing is that this term narcissism and gaslighting is become a buzzword for the last 6 years or so. And does it exist? Absolutely. It's a clinical diagnosis. NPD is part of the cluster B. Gaslighting come from the movie 1941, Gaslight. It's trying to make persons crazy or question their reality. At what point does these two just walk away? She left, she came back. She decided to go to the Homestays week, and then she's claiming, as according to some videos that's out there, that she's going to do this grandstanding at the final vows. Both of these two just need to go about their lives and just move on. That's my opinion. I know some of you guys feel that way, but also stay tuned for another video because it gets worse with these two. So look out for that, and we'll talk about that then. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about Melinda and Layton? Can they fix that and come back together and just figure out the communication? Lindell and Cam, do you think that they can work this out? We know Tani and Ollie is good, and Bronte and Harrison, well, whatever. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other recaps and updates on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.